Russia has continued to launch attacks on Ukraine just hours after US President Donald Trump and Russia's President Vladimir Putin spoke on the phone about moving potentially towards a ceasefire agreement. Well, joining me live is Ukraine's Ambassador to Australia, Vasyl Myroshnychenko. Ambassador, thanks for your time this morning. Did anything from the phone call or what we've heard about it between Trump and Putin give you any hope Russia is going to come to the table to negotiate a ceasefire?
It's important to have America engaged in these negotiations because America is what Russia fears, and their influence can save many lives in Ukraine. Therefore, we are working very closely with American partners, European partners, on making sure that we can force Russia into proper negotiations where they would do it in good faith. Because for what we see at the moment, Russians are pretending to be negotiating while they are sending missiles and drones to kill Ukrainians, to destroy our infrastructure, and it's happening on the daily basis. So for the time being, Russians are not demonstrating any sign of willingness to cease fire. And it's been on the table for the past 2 months, which was proposed by President Trump, which Ukraine has agreed to, but Russians refuse doing so. And for now, I don't see actually any indication that Putin is actually interested in ending this war.
Just on your point there on how important the US is to this process, Donald Trump said that if nothing happens, he would be prepared to step away and out of it. If the US did step away from negotiations and left it up to, say, the Vatican, how would that change the dynamics of this process?
Oh, this is what Vladimir Putin wants. He wants America to abandon the negotiations. He wants America to abandon Europe. Putin wants European Union dismantled. And that would be a great success and win for Vladimir Putin if America walked away, if unity within the EU is not solid. And we have to keep in mind, Russia feels that time is actually their advantage. They're in no rush. Currently, it's summer. Russians are in overdrive in Ukraine and sending all their troops and all their equipment to capture more territory. Every day they lose 1,500 people at least in casualties, but they don't care. They feel like they can keep on going, and they just do it. And it's only the strength and unity of Ukraine, of the US, of our European partners, of Australia as well, together that we can force Russia into negotiations by imposing more sanctions, by sending more defense assistance to Ukraine, and by actually isolating Russia further, using their sovereign assets which are currently mobilized for the benefit of Ukraine. And I think these steps would be important to actually coerce Russia into some serious steps in ending hostilities.
Australia has committed to sending more tanks. What's been the reaction to that? And what else are you wanting from the Albanese government, if anything, at this point?
I'm personally thankful to Prime Minister Anthony Albanese for making that decision to send those tanks. As you know, they were announced in October of last year. Currently, tanks are on their way to Ukraine, and they will provide a serious improvement to our defense capabilities. And certainly we are working with the Australian government on what else could be done. You know, we definitely benefit from more Bushmasters who really served very well Ukraine, more other equipment such as M113, some ammunition. I mean, primarily defense industry equipment as well. I mean, look, this war is big and Australia has got a skin in the game. This is not a war long way away from Australia. This war is actually next door, to be frank, because the way it's going to play out is already affecting your security here in the region. We see how dictators are now watching how this war is going to play out, how they are, demonstrating their power, projecting their power here in the region. Yeah. And I think that we are all in the same boat, fighting for democracy, fighting for liberal based order. And look, let's be frank, Australia benefited so much from this war. Look at the prices for commodities. During the past 2-3 years, all the prices for shale gas, for iron ore, for wheat, they have surged as a result of the war in Ukraine. And in a way, I believe that's a reason why we can do so much more with Australia and Ukraine and helping us end this war.
Okay. Ambassador, we're out of time, but really appreciate it once again. Thanks for joining us on the program.